What is going on, everybody? You have reached our penultimate show for FSU weather here in fall 2018. I'm meteorologist Jay Karstens.
And I'm student meteorologist Dylan Leith. We're in the week before finals week, so we are wrapping things up here and starting to hunker down just for our exams coming up next week.
Yeah, the ultimate week of caffeine here at the FSU weather headquarters, as well as really the entirety of the Love Building here in our departments. Although we are enjoying some absolutely fantastic weather to ring in finals week.
Yeah, it's great weather now. It's nice to go outside, take a little breather, and walk around, not sweat so much. Light jacket would keep you kind of warm, but it's honestly decent outside.
Insert comment here about me being from the north and therefore liking colder weather. But as we've kind of seen the last couple of weeks, a bit of a cycle repeating itself here around town. Things are going to be really changing for the weekend again.
Yeah, it's a week of cold weather followed by a weekend of wet and rainy weather, unfortunately.
Yeah, we're going to be looking at the potential for some flooding once again, and that is in big part due to what we saw last weekend. We've already talked about it a couple of times this week, that record-setting rainfall really that we saw in Tallahassee last weekend. Another couple of inches of accumulation are expected.
Yeah, I mean, the rivers are definitely very flooded, and with this rain coming in and a heavy amount of rain we're predicting, it's not looking good for the rivers, unfortunately.
Yeah, for now, though, we're going to be able to kind of hold things off, at least for the next couple of days, hopefully until after sunset on Saturday, so we can enjoy one more day of relaxation before things really pick up around here.
Yeah, I mean, it's still great weather to go outside for a walk, picnic. Study out on Landis is definitely an option you want to take advantage of tomorrow, because this weekend you're not going to have that option.
Well, it sounds like it's time to actually talk about what's going to be happening here. So I'm going to go out to the wall, and we're going to be talking about our overview segment for tonight's show, starting off with the local satellite and radar picture. It was really just a beautiful day around Tallahassee today. Just some high clouds making for a fantastic sunset, and really any of that kind of imagery that you see out there today. I'll show that time lapse in my last local forecast. But again, nothing more than just a few high clouds for really the entirety of the region, although temperatures were once again a bit on the cool side. And here's the evidence of that pattern change. We see that high that's currently over the southeast. This is going to continue to slide off into the Atlantic Ocean. We're starting to see some rainfall off to our west. We're going to see a low pressure really building over the South Plains starting tomorrow. That's going to sweep its way onto the east into the weekend here. Could make for a very wet Saturday, especially Saturday night, going into Sunday as well, with once again some rainfall accumulation on the order of a couple of inches, perhaps more in some spots expected. For tonight, though, 33 degrees, some frost is possible with partly cloudy skies and calm winds in that picture, mid-30s to low 30s in some spots, except by the coastline where things will be just a little bit warmer. And as for the headlines for tonight's show, again, another chilly night ahead with a sunny and cool Friday on the way, temps getting into those lower 60s, with, again, the next big rain chance rearing its ugly head into our region, really starting on Saturday, but really for most of the weekend. But we're going to go into more detail now with Michael.
Yeah, thanks, Jake. And as you and Dylan were saying earlier, it was actually a really nice day outside, but cool, much cooler than average and what we're used to for the beginning of December. 57 was our high today with that chilly morning of 34 degrees. I was expecting a colder morning, though. But again, both of these are below average and nowhere near our records for this time of year. Now, satellite and radar, across our region, you can see we are dominated by high pressure. However, as we head into tomorrow, things will start to change somewhat. That high pressure will move off to the east and slowly weaken. And we see these two systems. We have this cold front right now located in the central part of the country and this upper level low. The two are going to combine and form a surface low over Texas, and that's going to sweep across the southern tier of the nation starting tomorrow and going into the weekend, giving a lot of rain for the southeast, and for the southern Appalachians, lots of snow expected. But for now, we are under high pressure once again, and it's going to keep us pretty nice going into tonight and into tomorrow, and those changes will start to begin as we go into Friday night. Just a few upper level clouds right now. Now currently across Tallahassee, starting to cool down a little bit. We're in 50 degrees here in Tallahassee with 40s in our Georgia counties, and actually upper 40s in Apalachicola and Perry as well, both at 49 degrees. Dew points are still relatively low, so the air is still dry, but these dew points are going to rise going into tomorrow and especially into Saturday, as that system right now out in Texas will start to move closer to our region and really impact us going into Saturday night. Now the winds, the reason why the air is still dry right now, the winds are still coming out from the north and the west, bringing that drier air from the north. And so that's what's going to keep us dry for the moment. But then again, as we head into the weekend, those winds will probably become southerly and bring in the moisture from the Gulf. Now, futurecast for the rest of tonight and into tomorrow shows mainly clear skies, maybe a few upper-level clouds, but expect very nice weather for some stargazing. But it is going to be very chilly once again with temperatures in the 30s. And then as we head into tomorrow morning, we'll have that cold start. Some frost is possible, but we will warm up a little bit more quicker than we did today. Temps will be in the low to mid-60s for our region. And then as we head into the afternoon, you see a little bit of some upper-level clouds to the north and west, but those shouldn't produce any rain. The rain is going to hold off until Saturday evening and especially Saturday night. But for tonight, another cold night, 33 degrees with some frost possible. Going into tomorrow, again, middle 60s. And then as we head into our 7-day forecast, the rain builds as we head into Saturday afternoon, especially into nighttime hours. And then you see Sunday, 80% chance of rain with most of that in the morning. And then it will cool down pretty quickly behind that with temperatures in the 50s on Monday and Tuesday. But let's send off to Dylan to take a look at the southeast.
Thank you very much, Michael. Well, you can kind of see the impacts of the front already happening in Little Rock. You can see their temperatures are 39 degrees, cloudy and rainy over there. But for us here, we're looking very comfortable for much of the southeast. See a little bit warmer over to the eastern part in Atlanta, in Charleston at 47 degrees in Charleston. So absolutely gorgeous conditions farther eastward. But as you start to look at the dew point, Michael said it's dry outside. Well, dry conditions are good, but then when we look farther back westward, you start to see this pickup of moisture, these darker greens, 43-degree dew point in Shreveport and 38 in Little Rock. That's because that low pressure system is bringing moisture ahead of it. Combined with that other system Michael was talking about, these are going to intensify and start to move eastward and bring a lot of showers farther east and bring some snow even into those colder regions as well. As we look at the winds, you start to see the northerly and the easterly winds turn into this convergence over into Texas. And where those two meets, you're going to have that low pressure system as well as a frontal boundary situated over there, but not strong winds throughout much of the southeast. So very comfortable conditions. And as we look at sideline radar, eastward you got this high pressure keeping things calm and cool, but then farther westward you start to see this blanket of clouds and rain and a little bit of snow entrained in this, but these are going to pick up as we look on into the week. You can start to see it looks very calm, peaceful, not a lot of rain associated with that, but as time goes on you start to see this pickup of rain and it accumulates and you got a lot more greater rain chances. You start to see some snow chances even into North Texas. And look at how much rain you have with that going into the week. And this is why you have this flood watch as we go into Texas and Louisiana as well, because with this blanket of rain it's going to drop a lot of water and it's going to start some flooding over there. And then as we look farther eastward, we've seen a lot of rain in the last couple of weeks. That's because you have that's because we've had these rivers starting to flood because of the amount of rain, and that's why we have these flood watches as well on those rivers. So when we're starting to see this rain come back, it's going to pose a threat for much of the eastern part of the southeast in terms of rain and the river flooding as well. As we go into tonight's forecast, the front inching its way farther eastward, you have a pickup of temperatures where you get the warm, moist air ahead of that front over into New Orleans, Shreveport, and Little Rock, even into Tupelo, seeing a little bit of rain as of now. For the eastern part of the southeast, staying very cold at 33 degrees here in Tallahassee, 33 in Montgomery, and then South Florida staying a bit warmer as they usually are. And as we go into tomorrow, again, the front inching its way eastward as well, starting to see the cold effects behind the front in Little Rock. They're seeing the effects right now of it sitting on there, and it's going to sit on there and bring some rain for much of the southeast on the western part for now, and then start to make its way westward as we go into Saturday and Sunday. And then now Michael and I are going to talk about your Christmas plans and your Christmas trees and how they are affected by these different types of weather, keeping with the theme that Michael likes for his labs.
Yeah, so we are all in the holiday spirit here at FSU Weather. So again, we like our pumpkins, and we also like Christmas trees, given that it's the holiday season.
Yeah, and one of the two most common types of Christmas trees are Fraser firs and white spruce. The Fraser firs come from North Carolina. Love that state. Yeah,
they take 8 to 10 years to grow, and the thing is, the weather has been a little bit wet and a little bit dry, but they do have an impact on the growth of the trees.
Yeah, so you don't want too dry conditions and you don't want too wet conditions. Fun fact that I learned, trees don't have an irrigation system when they farm them. It's just natural. Whatever the weather is, that's how they get their rain and water.
Yeah. So the trees, they need more water in their first year because that's their big growing phase. Right. And a lot of it is beneficial in this beginning because that basically begins the process.
Right. If you don't have the tree start off, it's a long process, as you said, 8 to 10 years for the tree to grow. So if it can't start growing, it's kind of a waste of a year or two as it starts to fall apart in its first year.
Yeah, one of the things that's harmful with all these trees is the root system can rot because if you get too much rain, the high soil temps and saturated soil affect those root systems.
Yeah, there is a disease called root rotting, and it has the impact to grow when you have these moist, muggy conditions, and these aren't good for the trees and can impact them later into life, and you won't be able to see them.
Yeah, and also it also affects the wilting when the needles fall off, but they can recover once they grow and mature.
Yeah, but right now we're going to send it back over to the wall with AJ.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on nationally throughout the country here. You can see plenty of cold weather throughout the northern half of the country, starting to make its way down into parts of the southeast as well. Atlanta currently sitting at 45 degrees. Here in Tallahassee sitting at 50 degrees, 41 degrees in Memphis. And as that front starts to move its way into the southeast, 50 degrees in Dallas-Fort Worth. With a rain shower that they are currently seeing. Dew points, it is very dry throughout much of the country right now, getting into chapstick season as we get into the middle part of December here. 19-degree dew point in Kansas City, 12-degree dew point in Denver. Still a little bit more muggy down in San Antonio, where they are seeing the first effects of that cold front move through their area. But we're going to see some seriously cold Arctic weather move in to the northern part of the country later on this week. Upper level water vapor here shows the remnants or the starting development of that front moving through parts of Texas. You can see plenty of upper level water vapor giving way to plenty of moisture throughout the atmosphere. And you can see plenty of moisture is available in California, and that's the next system that we're going to be keeping our eye on here that will be affecting us this weekend. Satellite and radar here shows plenty of rain and some snow throughout the Central Plains part of the United States in front of this cold front, and a lot of rain is out in California, giving them the chance for some actual flood watches and flood warnings. Here you can see they're currently in a flash flood warning for parts of eastern Los Angeles County or eastern Los Angeles metro area. And then they're in a flood advisory as well, which is actually some good news for them after all the fires that they have been seeing out there. And even some winter weather alerts throughout the Sierra Nevadas, looking at a winter weather advisory and a winter storm warning. Some places saw upwards of 4 feet of snow in the past 24 hours. Moving on over to the Ohio Valley region and the Great Lakes, some snow giving way to some more winter storm watches and winter weather advisories. Going out tonight, 3 degrees in Minneapolis, 24 degrees in Salt Lake City. Colder weather will be making its way down into the southeast as well. Atlanta looking at 36 degrees for this evening. Tallahassee here getting down into the low 30s once again. Thought we could reach into the 20s last night, but we're still going to be seeing those cooler temperatures again tonight. As we get into tomorrow, sunny skies throughout the northern half of the country and into the northeast. Mostly sunny skies throughout the southeast as well before the rain that is currently situated in San Antonio, Dallas-Fort Worth, and Memphis makes its way into our region for this weekend. So we'll continue to keep an eye on that as we get closer into the weekend hours. But for now, I'm going to send things back over to Michael with a look for what's going on around Florida.
Yeah, thanks, AJ. The one warm spot in that national picture, of course, is the Sunshine State of Florida. But it is a little chilly right now across the Panhandle, starting to cool down as the sun has set just a few minutes ago. 48 in Pensacola right now, 50 degrees in Tallahassee. Middle 60s in the central part of the state with 63 in Orlando and Tampa, and a nice mild conditions down towards South Florida with 69 in West Palm Beach and 71 in Miami. Dry air across the Panhandle with dew points in the upper 30s to around 40 degrees. A little bit higher as you go down towards Central Florida, a little bit more moisture in the air, so 49 in Orlando and 46 in Tampa, and a little bit higher as you go down towards South Florida with dew points in the middle 50s and 60 degrees in Key West. Now, satellite and radar, because of that cold front moving through earlier in the week that moved through the entire state of Florida, we are still dealing with the effects of that cold front. So drier air, mostly sunny skies, a little bit of some upper level cirrus clouds out towards the western Panhandle, but down towards South Florida, again, mostly sunny skies, which are now mostly clear skies since the sun has set. And expect that tonight. And then as we go into tomorrow, clouds will be a little bit on the increase due to the wind shifting, but it's going to be a warmer day compared to today in the upper 70s to around 80 degrees. Now out towards north central Florida, mostly clear skies here with a few clouds off towards Valdosta. But again, as we go into tomorrow, same story with temperatures a little warmer as temps rebound compared to this time today. So 64 in Jacksonville, 68 in Gainesville, and 71 in Ocala. And then finally, for the panhandle of Florida, you can see some upper-level clouds out towards Pensacola, Destin, and Fort Walton Beach. But temperatures will be warmer compared to today, about 5 to 8 degrees warmer with temps in the low 60s, 61 in Crestview and 62 in Destin. For tonight's forecast across the state of Florida, you can see 41 degrees in Pensacola, the cold spot being Tallahassee at 33 degrees, and then the warmer conditions stay down towards South Florida with 59 in West Palm Beach and 63 in Miami. And until tomorrow, everyone is about 5 to 10 degrees warmer than today as temperatures start to moderate ahead of that next system out towards Texas. So 60s in the Panhandle with middle 70s out towards Orlando and Tampa, and then upper 70s down towards South Florida with 78 degrees in Key West. But for now, we are going to take it off to Dylan with a look at our second local forecast.
Thank you very much, Michael. Well, current conditions outside aren't too bad. Looking for great conditions, 50 degrees. Might have to start putting on the jacket a little more layers. We were seeing up to the mid-50s just a while ago. Things are going to start cooling down as we get into tonight. Only a cloud or two, nothing too bad. And as we look at the conditions around the area, seeing clearer skies to our eastern and northern parts, but a little clouds, not too bad. Cool conditions throughout, much of the same as we saw yesterday, but a little colder than we saw yesterday nonetheless. As we get into our dew points, you start to see this dry area. This is when you want to pull out the chapstick. You need the humidifier. Maybe if you don't like these dry conditions, this is when you're going to need some little bit of humidity. But these are going to ramp up as we get into the next week, as we've all been talking about this next frontal system. Luckily, though, our winds have been kind of light, and with these lighter winds, you don't feel as cold, so it's not like you're getting a wind chill temperature. You're seeing calm conditions, and these are off the continent, so they're not bringing moisture into our area, just a little bit of dry air, so we're going to see these dew points stay a little bit lower as we approach the next front, but these are going to pick up as we go in to the front as well. High pressure behind me, sticking around for just a little bit in the next system, bringing in rain chances. But this isn't a fast-moving system. It's going to accumulate just a little bit, pick up intensity, and start to make its way eastward and bring rain chances into our area once again for the second weekend in a row. Unfortunately, as we zoom into our radar, though, only upper-level clouds. That's why we see those cloudy conditions, but nothing too bad. No rain in sight there. And as we go into your next week, you see we're clear now, and as we stay relatively clear, but for the next into your Friday. But as we stay clear on your Friday, look at this thing. It's not fast moving, the front's not moving very quickly, but it's picking up intensity and picking up a lot of rainfall with it as it's going to start to make its way eastward as we go into Friday night. Saturday evening is when you're going to start to see these impacts, and cloud cover is going to start picking up even into Friday night, Friday night, Saturday morning is when you're going to see that cloud cover. For tonight, though, about the same conditions as we saw last night, a little more cloud cover, getting down to 33 degrees here in Tallahassee, 35 in Bainbridge, and a little warmer on the coast at 39 in Apalachicola, 38 in St. Mark's. Comfortable conditions, might need a couple layers though, because 33 degrees is not the best conditions. And tomorrow, a little bit warmer as we go into the day, 62 degrees here in Tallahassee, a bit more cloud cover sticking around. And then as we get into your 7-day forecast, tomorrow looking like the last completely clear day as we see temperature is at 62 degrees, a little cold on our lows at 33. But then as we get into Saturday, we warm up just a little bit more, and those rain chances come back in the afternoon into evening with a 70% chance of rain and temperatures in the lows warming up just a bit. And as we get into Saturday, it's a washout. Luckily, though, if you want to study for finals, you're kind of going to be forced to study for finals because there's not much to do outside when it's 80% chance of rain, raining all day. So great study weather for that. But then after that frontal system moves through, we see temperatures dip from 65 degrees to 52 degrees into Monday. So as your finals week, you're going to need those jackets again. And if you have the 7:30 finals, you're definitely going to need your jackets waking up to 43 on Monday, 38 on Tuesday. Calm conditions after that front moves, and we're going to start to see rain chances pick up again into next weekend, just repeating the pattern. But now, send it over to the desk with AJ and Jake.
Thanks, Dylan. That was a really nice little segue into our desk here, talking about the rainfall this weekend necessitating studying for finals, because luckily a lot of the events going around the campus in Tallahassee are going to be a little bit before the rain gets here.
Yep, we got the Winter Wonderland event that's going on this weekend. That's going to be over on Landis Green this year. In the past, it has been at the Union, but as they're rebuilding the Union.
Yeah,
it's going to be taking place on Landis Green. That's going to be tomorrow night from 7 to 11.
Yeah, they're not going to put an ice rink in a dirt patch that is essentially rubble right now. So, yeah, they have a whole bunch of other stuff there, music, crafts, games, all that sort of stuff. They've done ice rinks in the past.
Yeah.
I'm actually not sure if they're doing that this year.
Yeah,
but that's always a fun time. I think they have like rental skates and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I cannot ice skate for my life despite being an avid hockey fan and being from Chicago. Fun fact.
I'm not terrible. I mean, I don't fall every time I go out there, but we'll see. We'll see if they decide to put up the ice rink this year or not.
Yeah, if you need one more de-stressor before those Monday finals get going, the Student Life Cinema showing Jurassic Park tonight and tomorrow, the classic from the 1990s.
Yeah, that's perfect way to just take a little break from studying. It's going to be the most busy time of the year for all of us.
And
so.
speaking of studying, Dirac and Stroger Libraries start
Yep.
their extended hours. Stroger is 24 hours the rest of the way, even over the weekend, and then starting Sunday, Dirac Library on the west side of campus will stay open until 3 a.m.
Yep, make sure you claim your spot at both of the libraries because that's the hot
Chaos.
spot to be this week,
Absolute
that's for sure.
chaos.
Yeah, but for now, I'm actually going to head on over to the wall and see what's going on with our lifestyle forecast. And if you have been tuning into the show every single Thursday throughout the semester, like all our loyal fans have, you know what's coming up first, and that is your Tallahassee golf forecast for your Friday. It's looking like it's going to be an absolutely perfect day to head out and hit the links. A little bit cool in the morning, so if you're heading out, make sure you pack the layers. By noon, getting up easily into the mid-50s, and by 3 p.m., looking like 60 degrees, so absolutely perfect golf weather for your Friday as well. Heading out, as we just talked about, to the Winter Wonderland on Friday over on Landis, looking like temperatures will be in the mid to upper 50s with mostly clear skies throughout the Tallahassee region. Not looking like we're going to have to deal with any rain until we get late into Saturday night. If you haven't gone and picked up your tree for Christmas yet, you are pretty far behind in my opinion. So if you're deciding to go out and pick up your Christmas tree this weekend, heading out to the farm, looking like 50 degrees at 8 a.m. on Saturday, getting up to about 60 degrees by noon and into the mid-60s by 5 p.m. on Saturday with mostly cloudy skies, and the rain really not looking like it's going to be starting until late in the evening on Saturday. But once that rain starts, it's looking like it's not going to stop until early Monday morning. You can see here on your 3-day forecast, mostly cloudy skies for your Friday. And then as we get into Saturday, that 70% chance of rain really doesn't arise until late in the evening, 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. But then as we get into Sunday, temperatures really are on the rise, looking like temperatures I'm going to be getting up into the mid to upper 60s, even into the low 70s for your Sunday. And then if we look at your futurecast here, remind you that this does start tomorrow at noon, making its way throughout the day on Friday into Saturday. You can really see those clouds start to make their way into the area on Saturday. A few spotty showers start to show up late Saturday afternoon into Saturday evening. And as I said, once the rain starts, it's not going to stop until early on Monday morning. But for now, I'm going to send things over to Jake to wrap things up with our final local and a look at what's going on here in Tallahassee.
Thank you, AJ. Getting away from that rainfall a little bit, we'll get back to that later on, but today was just such a beautiful day. We cannot help but show you guys just what that time lapse looked like throughout the day by Doak Campbell Stadium, the FSU Weather STEM camera. Another beautiful Tallahassee sunset in a city that is far too underrated for its fantastic sunset views out here. We'll look at that satellite and radar regionally, or nationally at least. We have a high pressure over the southeast. It's going to be drifting off to the Atlantic Ocean as we work through the next day or so. And then as we look off to our west here, we're starting to see some light rainfall in the western portion of the southeast. And we're going to have to see this low developing over parts of Texas really starting tomorrow, sweeping into our region again. And that's going to be our big driver for rainfall for the weekend. But of course, around here, nothing but some high clouds. Really was a fantastic day around town, bright and sunny, and it should stick like that for a good chunk of the day tomorrow before the clouds start to build back in later on in the day and into the evening. So we'll look at that right about now. For tonight, looking at mostly clear to partly cloudy skies really for the entirety of the evening. Working into tomorrow morning, a very similar picture, though temperatures will be very much on the cold side, back down in the 30s, not too far from the freezing point, and we still could see some spots get one of the first freezes of the fall. We've had it a couple of times so far this fall. And for tomorrow afternoon, those partly cloudy skies will stick around, but we see that off to our west, increasing cloud cover starting to build into the western panhandle, as well as portions of southeastern Alabama, even some portions of southwest Georgia getting in on that a little bit. that will continue to build into Saturday before that rain starts to make its presence felt Saturday evening. As for tonight, though, the partly cloudy and mostly clear skies will be sticking around. 39 degrees being our warm spot down by the coastline in Apalachicola. Otherwise, low to mid-30s anywhere across the board. Some spots could be cracking the freezing point here tonight. It's going to be the last time we see that for the next few days before our next bout of cold air sweeps its way in early to mid next week. As for tomorrow, temperatures getting up into the lower 60s for most of the area. Perry being a bit of an oddball at 66 degrees under partly cloudy skies, with increasing cloud cover later on, especially into the evening and overnight hours. If you're planning out your Friday, be prepared for some cool temperatures tomorrow, 35 degrees under mostly clear skies, and a slight increase in cloud cover through the afternoon with those temps once again getting up into the lower 60s. A bit more comfortable of a day for most of you guys out there that are not fans of seeing these really cool afternoons with temps again getting into those lower 60s for highs. And then Saturday evenings when we start to see those rain chances picking up, but otherwise fairly cloudy day, high temperature of 65 degrees, not nearly as warm as we saw last weekend with that rainfall event, and hopefully not looking at as much rain either. And then another cold front comes through Sunday night, setting up for a very cool and again very sunny start to finals week with a high temp of only 52 degrees on Monday. To wrap things up, going to send it to AJ and Michael at the desk.
Thank you, Jake. Yeah, and I feel like for almost the past 3 weeks at least, it's been copy and paste on that forecast. It's cold and sunny on Wednesday and Thursday, and then warmer and rainy on Saturday and Sunday. I kind of wish we would flip it around at least once so we could get a sunny weekend in there.
Yeah, at least Saturday is looking dry. The daylight hours are looking dry.
Yep.
So if you want to take a break studying for your finals, take advantage of Saturday. We might take our break for finals on Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday, if you have any plans this weekend, Friday afternoon and Friday evening are looking absolutely gorgeous. It's going to be perfect out tomorrow. And then as we get into Saturday evening is when you really got to start looking out for the rain making its way into the area. Sunday is going to be just the perfect study day, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect nap day.
Perfect studying day. If you want anything to do outdoors to get some, like, fresh air, Saturday's the day to do that. It's going to be mostly cloudy. Now, the most intense rain is going to be Saturday night, Sunday morning. We're expecting 2 to 3 inches of rain with this system. And again, with the flash flooding we had to deal with last week on saturated ground, it's not a good idea.
Yeah, and we could even see the potential for some severe weather once again as we get into the early morning hours of Sunday. So that's something we'll definitely have to keep an eye on. But the good news is, unlike last weekend, it's not going to be a 3 to 4 day event. It's really just mostly on Sunday. As we get into next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are looking nice once again.
Yeah, it really does. But don't forget to follow on all our social media outlets, twitter.com/FSUweather.
And make sure to like us on Facebook and watch us every single evening at 6 p.m. live on youtube.com.
And don't forget about the Instagram. If you want to post a pic in the I don't like studying in the library anyway. I feel like it's more of a, like it's a harm than good.
Yeah. We love those pics, whatever, however you're dealing with not studying or studying. If you need to take a break from studying, send us your pics.
Yep, so last Thursday's show of 2018.
Yep, as the Thursday producer, I would like to thank you guys for tuning in every Thursday and join us next semester, same time, same place.
And we'll see you here tomorrow for our last show.